Wife Julie and I own Creek Bank Creations in the land of tall corn and not much more right here in East Central Indiana, Perrysville, Indiana to be exact. We're glad that you're joining us tonight because we are going to have a great time. In fact, we're going to have a lot of fun.
There's a party going on.
There's a party going on right here. That's right. A celebration to last throughout the year. So I forgot to turn the volume down on my laptop, so Julie's going to do that right quick, so excuse me. Anyway, hey, we're going to be doing bee cards tonight. That's right, bee cards. Can I show them some of these samples right here?
Do it, baby.
We're going to do, here's one of the cards right here. Got your little action wobble on it. Going wobble, wobble, wobble. See the little baby wobbling? And then there's a little tab here that pulls out with your little sentiment on there. Isn't that cool? Can you say that? Got your little bees on there. And then we got this one right here that we're using, that we're going to be doing.
Nancy Go's here.
Hey, Nancy Goat, all the way from California.
She said it was 80 degrees there today.
Beautiful 80 degrees. Well, it was 60 and wet today.
Melissa Fair.
See that, and that pulls out.
Lois is here.
What do you know? There's a gift in there. Isn't that cool?
Loretta
so look
Potts.
at that.
Sharon, the Yellow Rose of Texas is in the house.
Hey, the Yellow Rose. See how that works? We're going to be using the new Bee-utiful Cinnamon stamps. Okay, the Bee-utiful Stamp die, Bee-utiful that is. Excuse me, that's not the die, that's the stamp. This is the die.
We have a really bad lag.
We have our new honeycomb stencil.
Hey, Diane Wilcox is on.
We have the new stitched Hexagon die we're going to be using. And finally, the new narrow slit, not to be confused, slit die, we'll be using as well. What else we have? Oh, the game. We'll be giving away some prizes tonight. I've got 3 new stamps we're going to give away. We're going to give away the brand new Hello Little One.
I'm sorry.
What?
What internet popping up here from Highland Manor?
Okay, hey, I'm back. Sorry about the lax there in the
Hello?
Yes, hello. You're back. Yes, good to have you. Our paper and fails for everyone. Okay, we're going to give you the new Hello Little One stamp. These two we just introduced last fall. The Dear Me, which is one of my favorites, since I'm a deer hunter. Going to give that one away tonight. And the Homespun Christmas stamp. Okay, now remember the rules. Here's how it works. Rather than me come up with some of my corny questions for you, it's going to be real easy. You folks just keep dialoguing on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to be setting my alarm. Except that router.
Why don't you change your
real quick, please? I'd be reconnected. Hey, I'm back. Are you still there?
Let's see.
Do we have a connection? Say something if you are connected. Haven't heard much of what you've said. We'll wait. Are you buffering? Are you there? Can you hear me? Connected? Yes. You can hear me.
Yes, Hope Elston said hello. Diane's connected. Okay.
Gavine, I've got your die cut machine for you. Okay. Awesome. We're back. Okay. So, I'm glad we did that. Sorry for the interruption, folks. Anyway, so you just keep dialoguing where I was before.
Why don't you start over?
Did y'all hear me talk about the prizes I'm going to give away tonight?
You were buffering and all that other stuff.
We've had a lot of buffering. Did you hear the message about the prizes? Yes? No? Yay? Woo woo?
No, I think just briefly.
No? Yes. Okay.
No, just briefly explain.
Right. I'm going to give away 3 stamps tonight. Okay, one at a time. I set the timer. You dialogue on the communication line on the YouTube channel. And when the alarm goes off, the last person to dialogue wins a stamp. First one we're going to give away
the last person that...
Oh, excuse me, the last person, not the first one.
That you see.
Yes, the last person I see.
Yes.
Yes, that I see. That's right. So...
Because everybody buffers differently and...
Yes, indeed, Mrs. Creek, because everybody buffers differently.
Don't start fighting because you didn't get the free
Don't be fighting because you didn't get it. By the way, you know we're from Indiana, the land we love. We love it here in Indiana. We've lived here for years and years and years. Did you know?
Lois, is this a rerun or are you starting over?
No, we are starting. We started over, Lois.
It's fresh, Lois.
It's fresh. It's not live. It is live. It's not Memorex, Lois. Sorry, I'm dating myself with that. Anyway, I want to tell you, folks. Did you all know that the toothbrush was invented right here in Indiana? right here in Indiana. Did you all know that? Come on, any comments there? And I want to tell you why.
Mary Jackson knew that.
I want to tell you what, Mary, you know why.
I bet Janet knew
Because
that.
if it had been invented anyplace else, they would have called it the teeth brush. Think about it. Hey, without any further ado, here comes Julie.
Okay,
Julie, are you ready?
Hang on.
She's not
Show
ready.
him the card for next week.
Next week's cards. Here's next week. These are cool. We're going to be using the new hex die next week. This one right here. Here's one of them right here. Isn't that cool? Does that open up, Mrs. Creek? Oh, does it? Holy cow, does it? It's a stand-up card. Can you believe it? Isn't that awesome? Look at that. Isn't that cool?
Show the other
I'll
samples.
show you the side view. You just see it all. Here's the back. Look at it up close because it's dimensional. Can you see those little pockets in there? Isn't that cool? Here's another one. How about this? Graduation. Whoops. Look at that.
Show them where the money. Get
We
that
got
off
the
there
money.
quickly. Quickly get that money off. No, I'm serious.
No
Get that
money. No
out.
money being showed.
Take that
There's
money
money.
out.
Copyrighted. Violation to copyright.
I got in
There's George
trouble for that
Washington's
last
face
week.
on that. We got in trouble like that. But anyway, there's die. Here, let me pull the money out of there.
Get rid of the
I
money.
can show you the card without the money, honey. There we
Tore
go.
the whole card apart.
No, I didn't. Well, I had to get the money out. You're in a hurry. There you go. There it is. Isn't that cool? Well, in that case, if he's a little more special, you put more than $1 in. You know what I mean?
Depends on what grade he got. Or she.
There you go. There's another one. So we're going to be doing those next week. Those are going to be a lot of
We're
fun.
gonna be doing
What have you named this card?
It's the.
I'm going to call it the Hexagon stand-up card.
I think
That's right, crafters. It's the Hexagon stand-up card. You like that name?
I do. I think that's what I call it.
Okay, that's what she called it. Without any further ado, here's Mrs. Creek.
Wow. How did he get the camera? Sorry. How did you even talk in that camera?
Well, I
Sorry,
can
guys.
See my face looking back at me.
Okay, so. What was he doing? Like the camera. Okay. All right. Sorry. So tonight we're going to make the bee cards, and we're going to use the new bee stuff, and we're going to talk a little bit, mess around with the narrow slit die. Okay, this is a little bitty guy. So we're just going to mess around with this, and
Yeah, turn it down.
the blog.
It's turned down.
Would y'all like to know how many times before we started I said to Mr. Creek, be sure to turn the volume of your phone and computer off.
Right.
Now, how many of you actually believe him?
All right, so how do I get the timer to work if I have no volume to screen?
I need a new assistant.
Help! Help!
Does this job come with marriage counseling? Okay,
Sometimes it needs.
sometimes more than others. Don't ask me what I was saying. The blog. www.creekbankcreations.blogspot.com, and the second post down has the beautiful cards that we're doing tonight, as well as the project that we're doing next week. And next week I'm going to teach you how to make the stand-up card. We're going to do the stand-up card. Now I will tell you, I wrote the instructions for the stand-up card, and they are on the website in the download area. So we have a section of the website.
That was the test for the alarm. I was just
Dear
testing.
God, dear God, thank you for my husband.
I turned the volume down, but I had to make sure that the
He's such a
volume was
blessing.
on.
I am so blessed. Oh my gosh. Okay, I do not know what I was saying. No, seriously, I know what I'm saying. In the download section of the website is the instructions. You will find, it's like, if you go to downloads, you'll see at the bottom, if you scroll down, there's like page 1, page 2, and I think it's on page 2 because they're in alphabetical order. But if you get the PDF file, which is the instructions to the cards, he's having his own little party over there. There's a setup sheet for the dies. so you can set your dies up perfectly when you die cut. So that is free, and you'll find in the PDF download area, there's a lot of free things. So help yourself. Once you put that in your cart, you do have to like put it in your cart, even though it's 0, and check out. Once you do that, it's in your order history. And if you ever can't find it, you can go back to your order history and pull it up in your order history. Okay, it's probably a good thing. Yeah. Well, we're talking about getting a second camera, but you're right. If he gets more attention, it'll just be worse. So
I'm reading the comments here. Thank you.
Okay, so this card, I took a picture of it to put on our Pinterest page, and I got in trouble from the powers that be.
Who are the powers that be?
I don't know.
Dum dum.
The copywriter violator people, because they thought I was trying to copyright the $1 bill. So that's why I was on Tom about getting that dollar bill out of that picture.
Remember when they kicked us off because I was doing the David Bowie song?
Tom got kicked off.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Okay, so we're doing B cards tonight. I think we covered the business. Did we get all the business covered? I think we did. Okay, so Tom didn't talk about coupon code.
Oh, I didn't.
Is Buzz, B-U-Z-Z.
I'm so sorry.
Here's this, Tom.
Oh, we got kind of frazzled when we went off air temporarily.
Yes, he did handle the stress. Auburn. Somebody said something about Auburn. We're going to be.
Yeah, we met Auburn. In Auburn. We met Ginger in Auburn last year for the first time, and she's looking forward to seeing us again. And we're looking forward to being back there, Ginger.
I'm going to tell you.
I also saw Denise making a comment. We're going to be in Mesa, Arizona
in September. We're excited about that, and we'll see how things go tonight. We might have time to talk about our new Skinny Dippin' mini album program.
Tonight? We're going to talk about that tonight?
I brought, just in case we wanted to talk about it.
I always like going skinny.
I know. When I was doing the ad work today, I was going to ask you about this. I was going to put at the bottom of the ad, who knew naked could be so much fun? And then I was like, is that appropriate?
Excuse me, but so, I did.
Oh, hey, Nancy. If there was a jump where California was like on the way, Nancy's saying if you're going to Arizona, you can come to California. But it's just it's always too far. Like the jumps don't work.
Hey, how long is the Buzz coupon good for? When does it expire?
It's valid until April the 5th. And it is valid on everything on the website except for the Sizzix Switch machine. And we do need you to put the coupon code in the shopping cart when you check out. Because it is problematic when you email us and say, oh, I forgot to put the coupon code in. So please try to remember to use the code, and orders over $50 ship for free. Now, if you are coming to a trade show, I see somebody in there was talking about Collinsville, then we have a, I'm going to pull this camera up. We have the, at the show, we'll do buy 3, get 1 free. We just don't have any way to do that online, so that's why we do the other option. So, all right. Anybody else have questions? Was that you and the Wabash yesterday?
No.
No. I don't know. What was in the Wabash?
Probably that floating body she saw.
Are you serious?
No, naked in the Wabash.
Naked, yeah, the Wabash. You wouldn't want to be naked in there. Woo. Okay, all right. I think we're ready to get started. Does anybody have any questions? Anything? We do have in St. Louis, Miss Yvonne Kensner is teaching for us. She has 2 classes. One is sold out. There's a few seats left in the other class. So if you go to Creating Keepsakes and look up Creating Keepsakes, the St. Louis show, look up Yvonne Kensner. I cannot remember the name of the classes. It's evading me right now. But if you're going to St. Louis, check that out. She has some really nice cards that she's doing, and
Hey, Loretta Potts! Loretta Potts. Loretta Potts is the winner. Congratulations, Loretta. You won the Hello Little One stamp.
That's awesome. Coupon code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, saves you 15% on your order, and orders over $50 ship free. Now, what we're doing is we're going to work with the bee cards tonight, and then we're going to talk about the narrow slit die. And this is one of those dies that I just like to have in my stash because you can do all kinds of creative things with it. So we're going to use it this way tonight, and that's got a stopping point on it. And then we're going to use it also with the little insert that we're doing. Tom, I forgot to get out the tab die to show them. So when
I'll go get one.
In your free time, you can run and get me that. Okay, so this is where we're going to start. We're going to start with this guy. And when we get to the hexagon, the hexagons on here, I just got into my scrap paper and put super tacky tape on the back of scraps, and then just started cutting a pile of them. And then I decided I needed to lighten it up a little bit because I had all that black going, which was cool, but got a little dark. So then I just grabbed some of the glitter paper, and I cut a bunch of those. So one of the cool things about this is this background, this type thing, is you can just cut up scraps that you have. When I made this little slide-in pocket, I used scraps. So actually I used scraps for the mats too. So I organized my scraps by color, and then when I got ready to make these cards, I dug into my scraps and just...
Are these cards in the class in Collinsville?
These cards are not in the class in Collinsville. Those are exclusive cards for Collinsville, and I'm going to tell you, there is a card in that class that is so stinking cute. It's got...
How cute is it, Mrs. Creek?
It's... like, I wish I was in the class. It's stinking cute. It has a narrow slit across the bottom, and the bee rolls into the beehive. Adorable, adorable. So whenever we do classes, most of the time our teachers are designing those classes, and they do different content than I do here. In fact, we do have some content that we're going to release later with the bee cards and the donut cards, but we're waiting because that material is going to be presented in Akron, Ohio. So we do have a teacher at the Akron, Ohio show. That show is at the end of April, and that class is posted online. That teacher is Diane Morris, and I think the class is called the Bee's Knees. So you can check that out. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the Bee's Knees. She's got one class in Akron. So if you're going to Akron, there you go. Okay, I think we're ready. Anybody else? Did you guys see my earrings? Did you notice this? Let me show you. See that right there? That is the bee paper pad. And Diane Morris's granddaughter made these for me. Have no idea how she did it, but I just thought they were absolutely adorable. We will be in Arlington, Texas at the Great American Scrapbook Convention. And I believe that is, Tom, do you know the date? The second weekend in June, I think. So June's going to be a very, very busy month because we're in Orlando, and then we're in Texas, and then we're back in Florida at Stamp Fest. So we're going to be like... not home. So, beautiful paper pad. Yes, what did you say? Arlington,
Texas, June 10th and 11th, Friday and Saturday.
June 10th and the 11th. I do not have classes at that show, but I promise we will have something amazing on the Make and Take
We don't have
table.
classes at that show?
We do not. So lots of fun in this. Got the whole bee thing going. I was looking for the one with the flowers on it. Oh, look at this one. Cuteness. So, here's my favorite one. Love this one right here. So pretty. So that is the Bee-utiful paper pad. And we are, I didn't use any of it on this card tonight because I just wanted to focus on the stamps. And we're going to do some stencil work. So I'm going to turn the camera down. Hang on. And we're going to get to work. Let's have some crafty fun. Hey, if you didn't know it, before we go, sorry. The dies arrived. So we've had the stamps for a while. Dies were delayed. The dies finally arrived. And I'll turn the camera down and show you guys this. Hang on, I'm turning the camera down. Okay.
Tell Judy that.
Oh, I forgot to share my scripture. Hanging on. Ginger's hanging on. How are we looking? I'm going to move it a little bit. Hang on. I think we're too high. Oh yeah, we're going down. Susan, when you travel...
And Judy Ratz asked me, when people receive stand-up cards, do you send directions with them? And I told her that the postman usually doesn't need directions. You think that's what she meant?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Okay, I'm trying to get that camera stand out of your view, guys. I'm sorry if I'm jiggling too much. You know what, Judy? Was it Judy Retz that asked that question?
Judy, yes.
I do not send instructions. I figure they can figure it out. I know some people do. I don't. I figure, here's my take on it. They know I'm creative, and if they can't figure it out, they'll call me and ask me. That's my deal. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. The outline dies came in, and I'm in love with, show you this, the outline die for the little dotty thing, the bee thing. Can you see that? What are you giggling about? We're not going to get a darn thing done. There and here. So those are included in the set. And then you have the hive, and I included that little die so you could cut the door out of the hive. And I didn't get to do anything with these because these just arrived a few days ago, and I designed all these cards way before the dies arrived. So we didn't get to use this, but this was the one thing I really wanted to point out to you guys. This piece right here. If you stamp that and then try to die cut it, show you this. Very, very difficult to line up. Okay, but here's what I was so happy with. You can actually cut that little piece and have that little piece. And honestly, I would have added that to my card. Look at that. Nice little piece. And I have cut that with my super tacky tape on the back. So that is the outline die. And as you can see, you've got all the die little pieces on there. So I'm super thrilled with how that turned out. And just show you how you can cut all those little bees out and then color them. I typically... when I do this, I stamp a bunch of these and then throw them in that envelope, and then I have them, and then when I want them, I have access to them. So what we're going to do tonight is start with this card. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Tom says I need more light. I have 4 lights on me, and I need more light. So he's adjusting. Okay, so this is a basic A2 card. So we're going to start with that basic A2 card. And then, like I said earlier, I cut my background, those yellow mats. I cut multiple yellow mats with the scrap paper that I had hanging around, which was awesome. Like, I love it when I can dig into those scraps and I can use my scraps. And I used our stitched rectangle die, and we updated that last year, and it has 12 different die sets in it. So I use those to cut that background. So let's put those backgrounds on, and we'll get moving. We'll get rocking and rolling. I got to tell you, I got to get my head around this because I have been buried. Can you say buried? Buried in the mini album program. And
no, Penny is asking if this is offered in a kit. No, Penny, it's not offered in a kit. Julie is just giving you instructions on how to make these cards tonight.
Yes. We're just learning how to make a card. So she can go to the, if you missed this part, if you go to the blog, www.creekbankcreations.blogspot.com, you can see the complete supply list, and there are clickable links there. So you can click right through to the website, and then you can pick what you want, and you can get 15% off your order when you use the coupon code BUZZ. So I'm going to put my background down, and I'm just using the Creek Bank Creations super tacky tape in the 1/4 inch. Yes, and here's the deal. If you look at the blog...
Oh, Ginger Fabric is a winner. Ginger Fabric.
Ginger. So, Tom, do you have Ginger's information?
I don't.
So, Ginger, you'll need to email Tom at sales@creekbankcreations.com with your address, your physical address, so he can send you your prize. And if you're planning on placing an order, he can pop it in your order. If not, we'll ship it to you.
Ginger, you have your choice of the deer die or the homespun Christmas. Excuse me. Oh dear stamp or the homespun Christmas.
Oh dear. Okay. We're going to put a white piece on the very top, but we're going to stencil that. So I am going to put a little piece of tape down here to secure my work. And this is how I secure my work. It is cheap and using things I already own. You don't have to buy something special. Everything's secured down there. And then I'm going to use the honeycomb stencil. And I don't know, did you show them the honeycomb stencil? Honeycomb stencil is new as a part of this set that go with the bees. If you're doing bees, you need a honeycomb. So this is our honeycomb stencil, and that's what we're going to use for the background. Now, when I put my card down, if I line up my card on the grid, when I put my card down, and I always do. We do sell this grid paper too. If you need a good grid paper, it's on the website. And then we're going to tape that in place with our tape as soon as I find it.
Tell Janet I just posted the blog spot. Janet Pearson, that I just posted the blog spot on the feed there.
Janet, Tom said he posted it, but I don't see it.
I just posted it again.
Okay, it's creekbankcreations.blogspot.com. I will also post that link tomorrow, and I did post it the other day. So I'm just securing this down so it doesn't move on me, and this is our new art stencil tape, and it is made just exactly for what I'm using it for, to hold things down so they don't shake and move. And then we're going to use our J brush to ink up that stencil. And I brought the Catching Rays from Catherine Pooler with me tonight. In the studio from Catherine Pooler Inc., it's Catching Grace. Tom, you didn't even appreciate that.
I'm sorry.
You didn't even appreciate
Kathy
my humor.
Pooler? No, we call her Kathy Pooler because
Yeah.
we buy so much doggone ink from her that we're more on a more intimate
Yeah,
basis.
she doesn't even know who you are.
Kathy Pooler?
Yeah. So we're going to use the J brush. I'm going to pull the band back. I'm going to dip side to side and I want to get a lot of ink. Load that brush up. We're going to start off and we're going to stencil in our pattern for our background. So I like to do little circles, and when I start this, pick up my ink. When you use the soft pad, you want to dab side to side because hard dabbing will tear up the ink pad. So we're just going to go all over, and whenever I start, try to start off and work my way on, and you can decide how dark do you want that background. And you could blend in another color if you wanted to. Second color. We're just going to do one tonight. Now, both of our backgrounds tonight have this same pattern on them. So I'm going to go ahead and take my stencil off and then get my other piece of paper and just do it.
Did you show the J brush?
Yes, I just did. So J brushes are $6.99 each.
I have a special one.
Six. Do you remember what the six for? Six for something.
Six
So
for
I use the
38,
undo to take that off.
8 for 52.
And there I am. And when you order 6 or more brushes, we will give you the color card for free. So they are not marked with a color band.
And this is definitely
Show you this.
not a makeup brush.
Not a makeup
our
brush.
Competition sells makeup brushes.
Got a lot of makeup brushes going out there.
This is a specifically designed brush for
Art.
our artwork.
Ink, paint, and media.
Yes.
Okay, this is my second card, and I already stamped it. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay. Penny, if you use this on your face, I guarantee your complexion will never be the same. Guarantee.
They might think you're from Indiana. So we're using the brush with our dye-based ink, and we can blend multiple colors with the brush. Now, in this case, I already stamped my card, so we had that part already done. The Bee-utiful Sentiment Stamp is designed with that multi-stamp setup, so you can say be amazing, be happy, be free, be fearless, be yourself. And we're doing Be Fearless tonight. And this sentiment stamp, is designed with some scripture on it. And so you can make a nice bee card and send a scripture. And the scriptures I chose for this card seem appropriate for the time that we're living in. Be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go, which is Joshua 1:9. That would be even a nice verse to use on a graduation card. And the other one is, and we're going to use this one tonight, 2 Timothy 1:7. God's not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So in this day and age that we're living in, we kind of have to work at not picking up that spirit of fear. We know God's not given us that spirit, but when that spirit is freely propagated everywhere, it is very easy to slide into picking it up.
Fear is a liar.
Fear is a liar. So you have to guard your mind against fear. And for me, that means less news, because it seems to be a big seller. Good old fear does. Okay, so we've got our backgrounds. That was easy. And that was the catching rays. So let's go back to our...
While you're changing, would you
This is where we were.
Would you show Ginger those two stamps so she can pick?
Yes.
Because I'm going to give one. I'm going to give both of them away tonight. Ginger, here.
Homespun Christmas.
There's Homespun Christmas.
And Dear Me. Dear Me has Grateful for You and Holiday Wishes.
The Homespun was it didn't look. It was there you go. It's tilted. There you go, Mrs.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we've got our card right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that narrow slit die, and we are going to take the 4-inch die, and I'll just show you this. There are a lot of dies on this package, and we want the 4-inch one. Oops, wrong way. Right there. Now, these are very narrow slits. They're really only wide enough for a piece of paper. And we're going to center it top to bottom, and we're going to place it on the card at 3/4 of an inch. Now, one of the advantages of working on the grid paper is that I can line up my note card with that grid, and then I see where that line is for my 3/4 of an inch, and I can center it, and I don't have to get the ruler out and mark it. So I'm just going to put some tape on it, and then we're going to die cut that, and we'll have our slit marked. My machine's flipped around backwards. No, I'm okay. I just have to get used to it. The person who set up the die cut machine did it crooked or backwards. Do you know who that is?
Yes, it was you, Mr.
All righty. There's our nice, clean opening. Awesome. So you can think of many different ways to use this, and this one will be a fun one to include in your mini album pages for pockets.
Many different ways with a mini album, and they're called mini slits.
No, they're not mini slits. Wow. They're not mini slits, but you are right. That was a lot of mini. Okay, we're going to put foam tape on the back of this, and this is the clear foam tape that we have, and I love to use it on these cards because it does not show, but I will tell you this tape can be a booger. So it is super sticky by nature, and it wants to stick on the roll. So when I open it from the roll, I get my powder tool out, that little bag that has powder for embossing, or you can put cotton, you can put powder, oops, better not do that, on a cotton ball. I started to stick that there, but I forgot we got to slide our gift card in there, so we have to stay out here on the edge. If you open this and you cannot get the liner off, Lois had one and she couldn't get the liner off of it. I just keep working with it, Lois, just so you know. I just roll it off of the end and leave the liner on it and just keep pulling on it. And it can be difficult, so you just kind of have to mess around with it. You can use your foam tape, or you could use the foam that we sell in the sheets, the 6x8 sheets, and cut it. Either way, but we need lift because we need that card, we need clearance for that card. So we're going to just push that down really well and then go back and remove that tape liner. Use our pick tool for that. Has anybody made bee cards already? I know we've sold lots of bee stamps. So if you are not a member of the Creek Bank Creations Creativity Group on Facebook, we have a group, and I designed that group so that you guys could post things that you're making on there. So love to see what you're making with the bee cards, with the bee products. There we go, all the way around. And then we're going to add that to our front. And that's going to give us that nice little pocket that we need. So you can even see for mini album how the same exact technique would work for mini album. Now, when we get ready to do that front part, we're going to cut a piece of yellow cardstock. And it's going to measure 5 by 3.75. We're going to score it in the middle. So we're going to make this little pocket goes on the front. Score it in the middle at 2.5. Get the scoreboard out. Put the long side of the card up against the board. Score. And that's just going to give us that nice little fold that we need for our card front. So you can see how if you did this for a mini album, you would just do the same thing. You would just do it on a larger scale. And then you could put photos and such on it. And wow, I don't know who cut this piece of paper. That would be me, but it is horribly. It is not straight. I'm going to straighten it up. There we go. Now we're going to add our front piece to our card, and that is white paper, 2.25 by 3.5, and I did cut this with our stitched rectangle die, and for the purposes of this video, to save time, I stamped it ahead of time. I did want to show you that on the stamp set, the Thinking of You and Sweet Friend are not attached, they're separate. So you can move those around and do different things. At the top, it says have a beautiful birthday or retirement. So you can move those pieces around. The reason there are no sentiment dies for these particular sentiments is because if you move those around, you're going to get a different look. Okay, so I already stamped that. Now what is super fun about the set is that little bee, that little dotted bee mark that you can put on your cards. And I wanted to show you how fun that is to add into the card. So when you open your stamp set, you are going to see that this bee is attached to the dotted line, to this heart. And once I got the set, I did not like it that way. So I took my handy dandy scissors and I cut it apart. Show you that. Tom, do you see what I did with the stamp set?
Yeah, you just put it on your card.
No, my open stamp set.
Which one, dear?
My stamp set that I brought from home.
Is it a bee stamp set? There's a bee stamp set right there for your light right there.
There it is. It's buried. Here we go. Sorry. Okay, so I cut this bee. This came all together, and I really wanted to use this stamp without the bee, so I just took my scissors and cut it apart. Now, moving forward, when we reproduce the stamp, I had them pull it apart, but if you get it and it's all attached, I just literally took my scissors. Just be careful, don't cut into the stamp design, but I just took it apart because I wanted to have fun with that little swirly mark, and you can move those around the way you want them.
Oh, Penny Blaylock is the winner.
Penny.
Penny.
What do we have left?
Penny won the deer stamp.
So I'm just going to take my yellow ink and we're going to stamp those little buzz marks, and we're going to stamp them in yellow. Now, I will show you this. Whenever I stamp, I have this little window that I keep on my board, and it's taped. It's just our medium weight acetate taped in the side. So when I want to stamp and I want to make sure that I have it where I want, I can pre-stamp and I can look and see, yep, that's exactly where I want it. And then I can go back and stamp on my card. So ink and stamp. And just add that nice little accent. Okay. Little more. Little more ink, please. There we go. And I'm cleaning that off with our stamp chamois. And I keep the blue one wet so we can keep things wiped off and clean. And then we're good to go. Get our little card, and we can add that to our yellow slide-in piece with our super tacky tape. And this is just a fun card to make, and you can glue dot on a gift card of your choice, or you can put a nice little sentiment on that card. We're going to stick this on the front, and then, oh, I see we need to add, we need to stamp that bee image on the front too, and I already attached it to the card. So I'm going to show you how to fix that problem. Okay, so there's our inside piece. Okay, now I should have added my bee mark back there, and I already adhered my card down. So I'm going to show you how undo solves all the world's problems. We're just going to take our undo and put it all on that edge. We're going to let that soak a little bit. And then we are going to peel that up. That will give me the ability to put that image that I want on my card. Do you see how awesome that is? And I can get to my card. And we'll stamp our image on there. So undo is acid-free and photo-safe. It'll evaporate in less than a minute. And as you can see, it did not mess with my ink at all. And we are going to stamp some memento on there. And just get that little pattern on the inside as well. That heart is just fun to play around with, which is why I cut the bee out of it. There we go. Look at that fun little pattern. That's nice. Okay, it's about the little stuff, right? Clean that off. Now, when the undo evaporates, we have permanent adhesion. So we can go back and stick our card on there. Do we have a group of ladies crafting together tonight joining us? Did that group join tonight? Any response? Okay, now that when the undo evaporates, all the sticky comes back, and I am going to take my action wobble. This is the mini action wobble. We're going to peel that liner off the back.
I don't think there's anything to be afraid of using undo unless you smoke when you use it.
Yeah, don't drink it. Okay, pull that off. We're going to stick that on our card front. And then add our bee. And I previously stamped, colored, and die cut that bee. We're going to stick that right on top. And we do have the mini action wobbles on the website. There you go. If you come to a trade show and you're looking for the action wobbles, they are up by the register, right? To the register, to the right and left. That just gives you that fun little action. And then you have your little gift card right there. Slide that in, and you have a nice little card. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. I did the whole card backwards. Good thing I have undo. That's hilarious. I'm going to show you, I did just build this whole card upside down. I'm going to show you what I would do. Just that ought to make you feel good to know that you're not the only one that makes cards upside down. Do you see this magic of undo here? It's going to save me. And the key is letting that soak through the paper fiber. Give yourself a little bit of time, and literally it should peel right up. And then I'm going to turn that around and put that exactly where I want it.
Ladies, don't forget to give us a thumbs up out there on the underneath the screen.
Yes, that helps. Okay.
We need thumbs up.
We've got
Please click.
one card down, and we're ready to get our second one going. So we're going to build that background just like we did on the other one. So let's get our card. We'll try to do this one the correct way. Going in the correct direction, okay? So we're just going to add tape. So Nancy said it was 80 degrees in California. What was the temperature here today?
I think it was 55 and raining.
Yeah, and it's still raining. I can still hear rain outside. Yesterday, Tom had the pleasure of working on the, what do you call it, a flue or a chimney?
The chimney.
The chimney.
Tuck pointing the chimney.
Tuck pointing the chimney at River Retreat House. So he's on the roof all day long. And believe me, I was praying for the man.
I'm glad you were, because I didn't want to fall off there.
Well, you don't do well, like sitting still and behaving is really not in your wheelhouse. So I was praying that you would be careful. Sometimes you're a risk taker, and I was a little worried about...
Me, a risk taker?
I was a little worried about that. How many hours were you on the roof yesterday?
Well, the whole project lasted about 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I probably spent 9 on the roof.
Yeah. So, if you don't know, Tom and I used to own a retreat house for crafters, and we are in the process of selling that house. We closed the house in January, and so I'm just building up my layers. And the home inspector decided that Mr. Creek needed to get on the roof and fix things. So that's all taken care of. So we have our card, and this is the card we're using here, our Be Fearless one. And we are using the Slit die, and we are going to use that really small 2-inch slit because the scripture that we're using, let me show you that, is pretty small. It doesn't take up very much room. So I went ahead and stamped this ahead of time as well. And so that little piece, I stamped a little bee on there, is 1.5 by 3. And you can see that's a very small one. So you could adjust your slit for this card depending on what size pullout you wanted to add. So I'm just going to put that in place, and we're going to run that through the die cut machine. And you can see I just tape it and run it through. And, oh, I'm a little crooked. Let's straighten him up. Use our guidelines. Alrighty. We've got our slit. Now, if I am worried about that pulling off the face of my paper, I'm going to pull that off. Yes?
Jane Bullinger says, does it matter which side of the wall is attached to the card base?
You know, that's a really good question, and I don't have the answer to it. Does anyone know if there's a specific side?
Yeah, there's a base, and there's for the base has to stabilize, and if you look at the package, it has more adhesive on it. Let me show you.
That's what I always do. I got them. They're right here, Tom. I always put the bigger adhesive on the back. Is that what you're saying?
To the card.
To the card.
And what I'm wobbling on the other.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Does it say on the package?
No.
Okay, so we've got that, and we've got our little scripture that I've already prepared. And what I do is I cut a tab.
Mary Grace Knowlton asks, is there a stopper to keep the item from sliding all the way through?
I'm gonna show you how. This is the tab die, and it contains 7 different tabs. And this is another product that's going to be extremely handy with the mini album program. But I love to use it on cards as well. And you can see I added very small tabs, and then I put very large tabs. Now, when I die cut this, I die cut this with our super tacky tape on the back. And that is accomplished by taking our super tacky tape. This is sold in a 3-inch roll or a 6-inch roll. Unroll it, put your paper down in it, and trim it out so there's no adhesive showing, and die cut. And that turns this die cut into a sticker. That enables you to be able to pull that back off and put that on right on the edge of your card. And now we have a nice pull tab, and the adhesion, you don't have to worry about it coming off because that super tacky tape is really going to nail everything down well for you. Now, what I have done is I have taken a piece of paper, white paper, and it has my super tacky tape on the back, and I cut it into 1/4-inch strips. And we are going to lay this on our card so that it's about 1/4 of an inch longer on both sides. So I'm going to peel the back off, and this is going to make the stop for you. Now, this is another instance where you can use that grid to your advantage, because I can set that down and I know I have 1/4 of an inch. You could also cut it exact to size, but this is how I did it. So we're going to put 3 of those on here, and that's just going to build the stop for you. So you can see if you're doing this at home, if you're varying the size of your quote, then you just make that 1/4 of an inch longer on both sides. And I'm going to trim that. And now I have a stop point. Now I have a little sticky back here. So I'm just going to take another piece of that, put that over the top. Take my liner. If you have trouble getting that liner off, use your pick tool. Just pull that back. So I'm going to put this here, and that's just going to cover up any sticky tape I have hanging out so it doesn't get hung up. Okay. Now, we're going to slide this through here, and now we have our pull and our stop. So I'm going to turn this whole thing over, and we're going to add our foam tape. We're going to use a clear. Now I'm going to trim this just a little bit so that it doesn't hang up in the foam tape. If I come around there and I think the foam tape is too fat, I could trim it. So we're going to go all the way around because we need lift so that that'll flow freely with the clear foam tape. Push that down really well, and I'm a little long on this side. I love these kind of cards with these little peeky, pokey, interactive elements. And the key is you need lift so things don't get hung up in the inside. And who doesn't want a nice, fun card in the mail?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? I do. So we're going to go down here. Now, if you're using any of the foam tape, any of them, and your scissors start getting sticky from the adhesive, you can clean that off. Clean your scissors off with the undo, and you'll get rid of all that buildup that's on your scissors. Sometimes the adhesive wants to build up on your tools, and undo will clean that off for you. Now, whenever we pull liner, if we have that liner pulled down, if we have it pushed down well, you should be able to pull that right off. Then we're just going to turn that over and adhere that to our card. And you know, I probably should have put my hexagons on there first. There we go. So we're going to add our hexagons And I just like I said earlier, I die cut a bunch of these. And you know, it would have been easier if I would have started with, if I would have put this on first. We'll start here though. So you can just decide what your pattern is. I will say that adding this little bit of glitter paper really helped with my pattern and design. You just start building it, pick your pieces. And what I love about doing this is that you can just use your scraps on here. I got this thing going kind of weird. Pick your patterns. So you can die cut a bunch of these in different colors. I used this on the baby cards and they turned out really cute. I really don't like my pattern here, but I'm okay. Okay. Come up here. Add a little, we're going to add a little sparkle, but he's going to be almost, yeah, we're good. So figure out your pattern and stick those on. Fun things. What's nice about the Hexagon die, and you'll discover next week when we make that fun card for next week, is that it is, I'm going to have to trim that puppy. So I'm going to mark it with my tool. Right there. Mark it with my tool.
That's cool.
It is double stitched. So, and then where my holes are, I'm just going to cut on that line. It is double stitched. So it cuts an inside piece and an outside piece. And I designed it that way so that we could also use it on the mini album program. So you'll be able to cut a hole in your mini album page, trim it just a little bit more, and it'll cut that outside stitch for you as well. Now, there we go. There we go. We have our design on there. And then we have our bee that we're going to add because we are going to be fearless. You know, in this day and age, you kind of have to work at being fearless. Like, it's just like, it's easy to take all that fear in and start feeling like it might be better to just live in a cave or a hole in the wall. But we can't, so we have to be fearless. We can be fearless. And we're all survivors at this point anyway, so that's an awesome thing. Put our bee on there. And there we go. We have our second bee card. Okay. Be fearless. God's not giving you a spirit of fear.
I believe it. Believe it.
I believe. That's on the stamp. It says, just believe. Okay. So that's the bees.
Cindy asked, is that a stitched hexagon die, Mrs. Creek?
It's double stitched is what I was trying.
That's not just stitched, it's double stitched.
That is what I was trying to communicate, but I wasn't doing very well because I was trying to cut hexagons at the same time. I'm going to open this and show you. One of the things I'm excited about this is that it's double stitched. So it's cutting an outside stitch and an inside stitch, and this is what the package looks like. So when it die cuts, you have that inside stitch, but you also have the outside stitch. That's going to be able, you're going to be able to take a piece of paper and cut into it, and then when you
angle just a little bit so it's flat,
remove it,
so the die's flat. There you go.
You will see there is a stitch mark on the outside of the paper.
Can you say stitch mark?
So let's look at that. I'll cut one for you because that's pretty amazing.
Amazing.
So here's your yellow paper. Well, do you think white, is that going to show up well?
Yeah, yellow.
Yellow works? Okay. Okay. So we're going to take this. So you can make also, you can make a shaker with this or a peak window in your card. So I'm just going to set that on my card. And if you just came in, next week we are going to make a stand-up hexagon card, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. And there is a PDF file on the website that is free that has the instructions and the setup sheet for this card. Okay, I took it out of the die cut machine. There's my die. Then I'm going to see that when I remove this, can you see that, Tom? The inside piece is stitched and the outside piece. So if I wanted to make a shaker card out of this, I have this nice background. If I wanted to use it for mini albums or parts or pieces for scrapbook pages, I could make a window back here with it and have that really nice stitch mark out on the edge. Okay, so really fun die. And this is what we're doing next week. We're going to learn how to take that die and we're going to make a stand-up card with it. Makes a really nice card. So if you came in late, there you have it.
Denise then Blaricum wants us to talk about the mini album.
Talk about the minis. Talk about the minis. You know, I would love to talk about the minis. I could talk about the minis from now until when the cows come home. So let me pick up my mess here, and I only brought a little bit to show you because I am very much in the middle of digesting it all and understanding it all. Like, it did all come out of my head.
Here, I'll hand it to you. You
But
stay there.
it's right here. Okay, so look at that. Isn't that special? Woo, that's special. Okay, so anybody, before we move on, anyone out have any questions about anything that we covered tonight or anything else? Diane, thank you for the kind words. Any questions? Say yes or no.
Yes or no?
Yes or no. Are they responding?
No.
Okay, I guess that means no. Or is that the lag? Okay.
No. Lois said no.
Okay, thank you,
Sharon
Lois.
said no.
All
Yeah,
right.
Rose said
Okay,
no.
so I have been making and creating mini albums for a very long time. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. For a very long time. And I have made them from scratch. I have worked with a base. I've done all kinds of different things. And one of the things that I find annoying is the amount of time it takes to make that basic album. So I wanted to have a basic album so the work is already done. So this is our basic album, and it is called Skinny Dippin' because it's bare naked, and that was my purpose. Is it's bare naked. And guess who named it? Any guess who named it? Okay, so here's the deal. This album is 8.25 inches long and 6 1/4 inches wide, finished back here, and the spine is 2 inches. When you buy it, yes, it is on the website. There is nothing inside this book. So when you buy,
Open it up, man.
I have it open. Can you go get me a raw one?
Yeah.
When you buy this, there's nothing on the inside of it. It's naked. That's why we call it bare naked, skinny dipping. Because I wanted you to be able to build what you want inside the album. Tom's going to,
Open it?
yeah, go ahead and open it. Tom's going to get one for us so you can see, because this has pages in it. But wait, Julie, there's pages in that
Oh, wait,
album.
there's more.
These are the drop-in pages. So when you buy this plain, you can buy the package of drop-in pages, and the package of drop-in pages is 3 pages, and you adhere them into the spine, and you have your album. This is the album. When you buy it, this is what you're going to get. You're going to open it up, and it's naked. There's nothing in there. So it is designed that you can do what you want with it. Okay? Comes with this nice protective thing to keep it safe, and so it won't get crushed. So it's white. You can decorate it the way you want to. You could even cover it with fabric. And when you use the drop-in pages for it, that's super easy. And all the accent dies that work in the big album with the pocket pages also work with the drop-in pages. Okay, so the waterfall pockets, all the bits and pieces. This is what the drop-in pages looks like. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but this is the drop-in page, already pre-scored and pre-cut, heavyweight cardstock, and you have a 1/2 inch tab right there. So you run your adhesive down there, you tape that in, and you have your album page in there. So that is a drop-in page album that is super simple and fun to decorate. So the other way to do it is to buy the raw album and to buy the spine die. And as you can see, this is still working. This is all the farther I've gotten on this whole project because I've been testing all the dies to make sure everything works properly. So to do it this way, you're going to purchase the raw album and then you purchase the spine die, and it will die cut for you. And we will put out video on how to assemble this die. What I love about this die is that it will cut. I designed it so that it'll fit in any die cut machine that has at least the 6-inch opening. So it's slightly, I think it's 5.75 inches wide, and it does come in 2 parts. So you cut one, you cut the other, and you adhere them together, and then you adhere it in the spine. And I will put out video on how this works. So when you have the spine die, you're adding 5 pages to the album. Okay, so you die cut this, you tape it together, you tape it in your album. That's a die. This die over here is showing you the, yes, Beverly, it's been crazy. This is the inside pocket die. Do you see this die right here? This is your inside pocket. It's sized to fit inside. And something I wanted to share with you guys, when I made this page size, I made this so that page size is 5.75 inches wide. So if you're using 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, you can cut a sheet of paper in half and use one for the front and one for the back. So we're not wasting paper. Okay, so I really have put a lot of thought into how this is designed and how it works. The inside pocket, would you run and get me the inside pocket die? And get me the giant tags. Inside pocket cuts the pocket that goes on the inside of this book, and you would also end up putting it in the back. And when you purchase the inside pocket, you get the closure piece with it. See this little piece here? Let's see if we can get it close enough for you to see. And I'll be shooting video on how all of this is done. But do you see that? That rocks around on that little mini brad. And then this opens up. And then you have this little peek window. The peek window comes with the die set. And it's going to cut that circle, and it's going to score for you and give you a little peek window. Now, I do have a little magnetic snap behind there. Thank you, Tom. So this, isn't that fun? Like, you can put a picture in there, and then you have this closure. So what is fun, all of this that you're looking at right here.
Sure, it has to be used 100-pound or 120-pound cardstock.
I use 110-pound cardstock. Okay. And for these base pages on the spine, I use 65. I went to 110 pound when anybody was touching anything. I did go to heavier cardstock, and we will be selling that in the booth. Now, what I wanted to show you was, here is the inside pocket, 12 dies. Let's flip it over. So you've got the pocket, and then you have that die that cuts the mat for the pocket so that it fits perfectly. The flap is in there. This is the flap. Here's your little flippy closure pieces, and then your little peekaboo window. with those pieces. So when you look at the peekaboo window, there's a die to cut this piece, the accent piece. There's a die to cut this. And then there's a die to cut that shell in the middle. Now, when I die cut my shell, I put my super tacky tape on the back of the cardstock and I die cut it. Then I put the magnet down. And so when I put my shell on there, everything is secure because I use the super tacky tape on the back. And now I have that nice closure. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so what's cool is any of the dead space in the dies, I added tickets, tags, sentiments. There's so much to this that I literally kind of overwhelmed myself, gonna tell you. So over here, I want to show you. So that's like, look at all that's inside pocket. The flap, the inside pocket.
Because you didn't realize how much work you had to do when the time you got the.
It just all came out, and then wow. Okay, so here I want to show you this. This is the tags and tickets die. This set is 25 dies, and what I want you to know is whenever you buy dies that are in the sleeve, this package comes in the sleeve. This thing's, what is it, Tom?
What?
17 inches long, this whole package. This is our new oversized die storage packet, and these are for oversized dies. So these dies start at 3x5 and go up to 7x9. So these dies are made to accommodate the larger die cut machines, including the switch. And what I wanted was to be able to cut this giant tag for my pockets and have that big fat tag sticking in there, okay? And the whole reinforcer die is in that set. Let me open it up. I'm like excited. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm excited. Okay, so here's your giant tag. These pieces all come apart, and then these are your inside pieces for your tag. So you have more tags. This little guy is your hole. If you want to add a hole to your tag, show you this right here. If you mark the center point of your tag and line up that notch on the center point, it'll cut the hole for you exactly where you want it. Then there's a hole reinforcer. So when you die cut that with the super tacky tape on the back. And then you have these tags that just sit perfectly in your album. Like, I'm excited about that. So this is the tickets and tags. It is oversized. We have 3 oversized dies, tickets and tags, circles and rectangles. 3 sets, circle, rectangle, tickets and tags. These dies do not have any stitch marks on them because you might want to die cut your photo. So literally, I could die cut my tag and then I could die cut my photo in the next size smaller, and I would have the perfect tag mat for my photo. I'm excited about that. Woohoo! Okay, so let's go over here. I want to show you this. To build our page, are you with me? Who do we have? We have 42 people still hanging around. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay, to build our page, you're going to need the spine die, and then you're going to need the pocket page die. When you buy the pocket page die, you're going to open up that die package and go, this woman has lost her mind. Because there are so many dies in that set. So it's going to cut this. Can you guys see this? And then you're going to be able to add your top to it. Okay? So I want to show you how that is done. And I left my liquid glue at home. What I do, so here's my piece, and I have cut that, and I am going to add, this is my front. So in this die set is the base and the piece that goes on the front. To adhere them together, I line them up on the grid pad, use that straight line, push that down, and then pull that over, and that's going to give me the pocket page. Okay? Now, what I like to do is put a line of zip dry on this before I stick it down. but we'll just wing it tonight. There is my pocket page. Now this thing is sized so that it will slide down on this page beautifully because I mitered the edge of the spine and there is just a little bit of wiggle room right on that pocket. And then so we're going to put tape on the spine on both sides and adhesive. I use liquid and dry. I'm not going to tape this fully in because I don't have my liquid with me. We'll do a video in full. That gives me my pocket page, right? Are you with me? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I've got my pocket page. Like this, my first page, this is page 1, is already done. So this, oh my goodness, I left the alphabet at home.
No way.
I did. Can you go get me the, this is the pocket page insert die. There are 2 styles of tabbed dies in here, and it is made so, oh, by the way, I forgot here. When you do the pocket page, let's go back. Pocket page. This die is included, and it is the mat for the pocket page. So there's your pocket page base. And do you see these flaps? Included. Flaps are included in the pocket page. So when you buy the pocket page, these flaps are included, and the flaps have the dies so you can cut the pattern paper so they match perfectly. Okay, that's included in the pocket page. Then I was going on a rant about the insert. This is the pocket page insert. Okay, so to make this album so that you have the pocket page, you're going to need the spine die, the pocket page, and the pocket page insert. There's your insert. Isn't that nice? That makes me so excited. Now, here's what I wanted to show you. Pocket page insert. Are you ready? So you have 2 tabs on here. So you can do tab at the top, tab at the middle, tab at the bottom. We're going to flip it over. And look at that. Would you look at that? What is that? That,
Holy
my
mackerel.
friends, is a brand new alphabet. And I wish I had.
It's an innie and outie alphabet.
It's an innie and outie alphabet.
It's lower and uppercase.
I have been die cutting.
It's got the file folders, Mrs. Creek.
Yes, those are your insert. Pocket page insert. So here's your pocket page insert. And inside of it, I put a brand new alphabet. So the alphabet is called Savannah. This whole line of design is called Savannah. The alphabet is called Savannah. It is upper and lowercase, and the explanation point. Show you what this package looks like, this massive thing. 58 dies. 58 dies in this. So you the insert tab and a brand new alphabet set. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Can you show them the numbers?
I haven't gotten there yet. We needed numbers. So we had to put those on a different set. I could not fit those in the package. So there's your alphabet set. Now, if you're not familiar with our innies and outies, when these die cut, every time they die cut, they cut an innie and an outie. We're cutting them on our super tacky tape, and then we can inlay one color into another. So we have another alphabet set called Outline Alphabet. Yes, Sharon, the Yellow Rose of Texas is all over that. But this one's called Savannah. So the new set is called Savannah. And when you buy, if you want the alphabet set, Savannah Alphabet, it's with the pocket page insert pieces. Okay, so if you're not even interested in the mini album and you just want the alphabet set, then you're going to get the inserts whether you want them or not. So the question is, do I have to buy the pocket page insert to go with this album? Can I cut my own piece of paper? And the answer is absolutely you can. My frustration about the whole mini album thing is that I want that page to sit down into that pocket perfectly. I want the tab to hang out just the right amount so that when I close the album, everything is covered. So do you have to have it? No, you don't. But if you're, I don't know, I guess it just depends how deep you want to go. So there's that. And there's more. But wait, I forgot to tell you about, I think it's inside. As you can see, I'm going to need to shoot a lot of video.
What are you doing now?
It's not on inside pocket.
What are you looking for?
One of these dies has the ribbon closure. Would you go see if you can find pocket page?
Pocket page.
Pocket page?
Yeah.
Okay, and you might as well, well, this is belly band. The belly band die, I think it's 7.75 inches long, and it has two parts, an outside piece and an inside piece. The inside piece, when you die cut it, it's ribbed. So it puts a really nice little ribbed mark in it. And I like to cut these on with our super tacky tape on the back of our paper, which strengthens everything. And then for my closure here, I have used the circle that comes with the belly band set, and I have cut that with my super tacky tape on the back, and that makes that a sticker that holds that magnet down secure. There we go. Mr. Creek is the running man. So I don't know if you can tell. I'm excited about all of this. This is belly band. It is 9 dies, and here. So I want to show you this. Do you see all this pattern? This is what gives you that really. It looks like grow green ribbon when you die cut it. Sharon, at this time, we do not have paper pads.
We're working on it, Sharon.
We're working on it. We have things in the works. So this is the outside piece of the belly band that is your mat. And then look at all those circles, okay? And then I added this little wavy thing for fun. This is a die cut that says best day ever, exclamation point. And it's that fun script. So this is the belly band die. Really handy. Thank you, Tom. And then I won't have time to explain all this tonight. This is the pocket page die. Remember this thing we built? The pocket page? This is the pocket page die. And do you remember me telling you it's absolutely loaded? It is absolutely loaded. So I will be shooting a video just for this die to break it apart and explain it to you guys. But there's this little die in here that I'm really excited about, and it's this little guy right here. It's a ribbon holder. So you die cut that, and you run your ribbon through it. You cut it. When you die cut it, you put our super tacky tape on the back, so everything will be nice and secure. You run your ribbon through there, okay? You tuck your ribbon down into that adhesive, and then when you put that on the front of your album, you put your cardstock on top of it, it secures the tie closure, so you don't ever have to worry about that closure coming out because it's secured through this mechanism. So I don't know if you can tell, but like I put all my little ideas in this stuff. I'm really excited about it. There's more. This is not it. But if you come to a show, these will be included in the buy 3, get 1 free. We are working on bringing in our own mini brads. That's a process that we're working on. Everything we've wanted to do has been delayed because of the lovely COVID. So, and we're working on some magnets and some other stuff. So we are working on all things mini album. On the website, you look for Skinny Dippin' mini album. You're going to find the mini album products. And you can see how, we use that slit die tonight, and you can see how if we took a page and before we put our page together, oh my gosh, see, this is what makes me so excited. Okay, this is our pocket page, right? We cut this piece and we cut this piece, and we're going to make that pocket page. I can take that narrow slit die and I can cut a narrow slit in here, and now I have an additional pocket to put my things on. Or I can take that hexagon die, cut my hexagon shape into this, and I have a beautiful window that when I put this all together, I will have a picture showing out through the window. Can you say, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, I'm going to pull the camera up. This is all I have. This piece right here is in another set, and I don't remember. It's a smaller pocket. This pocket out here is larger. A lot of these dies, the flap dies, have multiple mats in them. I don't know if you can tell from this. This is the pocket page die. But do you see how this is your flap, and then there are two other dies there. One for a mat, one for a photo. And you can see how I added all those arrows, tickets, fun things into these dies. So I'm going to pull the camera up. Hang on.
Nancy Goad asked
if you're still hanging
going to
around.
be teaching this in Mesa.
Nancy? Am I upside down?
No.
Yes, I am.
Are you?
I'm upside down. Rotating. Sorry. Rotating. Woo! Janet, we do not have it in a kit. So you can use the 15% off and get what you want.
What about Mesa?
Sharon, are you asking about the pocket page? When you're asking about cutting 110 pound, are you talking about the pocket page? Mary, it wasn't you, it was me. You know those Indiana people. No, this is cut from a 6-inch wide piece of paper on the standard machine. So every single die in the set can be cut on a basic machine. Less than 6 inches. They're designed to fit. The only dies that you have to worry about not fitting or you're needing larger paper are the giant size die, which is the tags, the rectangles, and the circles. But as you saw tonight, the tag I cut for the album, this came out of the tag set. It's still not oversized. It's 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, which means I can still fit this in the machine. So even though the giants are designed for the bigger machines, you can still use them in your machines if you just don't go oversized. So every pocket, the spine die, the inside pocket, they're all designed to fit in machines that are 6 inches or less, which means Cuttlebug, Big Shot, Vagabond.
So you don't have to buy a new machine.
You don't have to buy a new machine.
Use,
You
to,
do
to
not.
use these.
You do not.
In other words, you don't have to buy the oversized machine.
You do not have to buy an oversized. Jim and I has an oversized machine too. You do not have to have an oversized machine. This is designed to fit, and we'll do more video. The only one we had to really work on was that spine die, but it's broken into 2 parts. So you cut one part and you cut the other part. So Sharon, you can cut. I've been using the 110 pound 8.5 by 11 cardstock. The only issue that you're going to run into is if you want to make the drop-in pages yourself. So the drop-in pages, here's what's fun. All the pockets that we looked at that are in the advanced album, they all work in the drop-in pages. So if you don't want to build the pocket pages with the insert and all that stuff, you don't want to go to all that work, those pockets will fit in the drop-in pages. Now the drop-in pages are just pages that are scored and folded out.
So you're saying you can make this really, really simple.
You can make it
really, really complicated.
Yes, you can make it as simple as you want or as complex as you want. Here's what I'm trying to communicate, and I'm not doing a very good job. You can't make this page yourself. Like the drop-in page, that's why we packaged it. I don't know what I did with it. That's why there's a package of drop-in pages for you to buy, because the paper is 12.5 inches long. So you have to buy the drop-in page because of that. Now, I will tell you what I did was when we designed this drop-in page, I specifically, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell this, it's 1/4 of an inch shorter on the inside. Because by the time you put your pockets on there and everything, you need that room, that bulk to show. And this is how our products honestly are different than other companies, because I actually craft. And when you make an album and this thing goes all the way out to the end, the album doesn't want to close properly. So that's why we're using, we're offering the drop-in pages, and then we'll be selling 8.5 by 11, 110-pound cardstock.
Tell Penny that there's 3 pages in a package of drop-in pages.
There's 3 pages of drop-in pages on the album. This is what it's going to look like when you tape them in. So the album comes naked, and you add in those 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. If you use the spine die we talked about earlier, that's 5 pages plus the pocket, the insert tab that pulls in and out. Okay? Cindy, thanks for coming and hanging with us. Anybody else? Well, Nancy, I love to craft. So I tell you what I'm thankful is that Tom allows me to go off on these wild tangents. So I designed this album 3 years ago for my mother. Sorry, I'm trying to pick my camera up. I designed this album 3 years ago for my mother, and when I designed it, I had the whole system on my computer, and I tried to get Tom 3 years ago to look at it, and he said, "You're crazy." And so, you know, last year, y'all just kept asking Tom, "You gonna do anything mini album? You gonna do anything mini album?" And he finally said to me, "Are we gonna do anything mini album?" And I'm like, I've been just waiting for you to ask. So it's been a long process, because there's been a lot of, you know, supply chain's so messed up. Stuff's been delayed and not been here like it's supposed to be, but we're thankful we're going now. We did have one die that came in that I cannot share with you because it had a problem. So I personally die cut everything that we produce before we put it out in the public, so that I make sure there's no issues with it. And I messed up one of the die designs. Some of these dies are kind of tricky, score lines, cut lines, and there was one die that I had to pull back, and we're going to have to fix it. My fault. But we haven't released that. It's not on the website. Nobody knows about it. It's a secret between you and I. And when we get it fixed, we will add it to the line. And you're going to love it. It's a fun one.
Show that die to Shannon. She's
so Shannon,
all over for giant circle dies.
Shannon, this is the giant circle dies. So they are not stitched because I wanted you to be able to cut photos with them. And it goes up to 8 inches, steps down in size by 1/4 of an inch. And the smallest one is 1/4 of an inch. Is that enough circles for you? What I love about this is that you can cut rings. I love to do like the ring design on my scrapbook pages, and was always frustrated. Like I used to cut them all by hand. But you can line these up and cut rings for your scrapbook pages and get the coolest design. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm excited. Yeah! Okay, so any questions? Anybody else have questions? So remember, the only dies that you have to worry about not fitting in a standard machine are if you pick up a die that comes in the storage pocket. Okay, the oversized, we did this on purpose. If they're oversized, they're in the oversized storage pocket.
Can't find pocket die with alphabet. Where is it located?
It's called the pocket page insert. Pocket page insert. Tom, can you type that in the chat? Pocket page insert. Because it is the one that has that tab. It's got the tab. It's really designed for the tab, but then I put the alphabet in there. Pocket page insert. So this is your pocket page. This is your pocket page insert. Yes, you can rewatch. Okay, anybody else? Anything else, Tom?
No. I don't
So,
think
if you come to a show, you're gonna find the booth has changed because this program takes a lot of room.
yeah, we've gone to 50 foot. It's
So
like-
at the larger shows, the booth will be an additional 10 feet long. So Sharon, you're gonna feel like you're like on the end of a football field, away from Tom. Like bring your football so you can play catch with Tom because you're gonna be a long way away from him. So we're excited. Oh my gosh, it's all coming together. We've had to reconfigure the booth, and I'm trying to die cut all the samples and get all the projects ready. So I'm super excited. As you can tell, we're going to be able to have some really fun lives to do. In next week, we're doing the Hexagon stand-up card, and then I'm not sure what we're going to do for April. I'm thinking I'm going to do some mermaid eye design.
We're also going to do 2 very big shows in April.
Mermaid card. So, okay, any other questions? And then I'm ready to sign off. Blue. It's a Creek Bank blue. Yeah, I get to wear it all the time. Red used to be my favorite color, and it's kind of turning into blue. So, here comes Mr. Creek. We're about to sign off. Hey, thank you so much.
Hey, we enjoyed you, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us. We pray the Lord keep and bless you, and thank you so much for having a good time with us.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Can't wait.
Right
the
here.
29th. We'll
See you in Collinsville.
Absolutely. Bye.